I think if you're wanting to have more interaction with that kind of stuff, having breaks in between and asking for feedback and questions and that kind of stuff, and using potentially other tools to break it up can be really effective. So one of my favorite ones that I've been using for the past few years is something called Quizzes. So it's a quiz platform that you can use that allows you to do it through the power of technology, and it's really fun and cool to use. And that has been my main system up until this month, when unfortunately they've now gone to a paid for model. So their free accounts have disappeared, which to be honest is slightly annoying because it is a really good platform, but it's not cheap. So their new mechanism is quite expensive. So an alternative one, which I've been using for the past month, is something called Menti, which probably a few of your trainers and stuff have come across. And Menti is actually a really powerful platform. It does most of what Quizzes does. Probably doesn't do it as nicely, if I'm being honest, so I am still missing it. But it does have the option of getting feedback from people, so you can do various things like the word cloud, I guess, is the one that most people have come across, where you put a couple of words, you ask a question, ask people to share their thoughts, their emotions, what their perspectives are. So classic ones I've done is, what type of video consultations do you find really challenging to do, that kind of stuff. Most people know about that. You can actually use it to do various other kind of things. So you can actually use it as a quiz platform and allocate points and stuff like that based on how people answer the questions. You can use it to do mind maps. You can use it to do graphs and all that kind of stuff and other kind of information. So it is a very powerful platform, and it's so easy to use, directing people to a really simple website, stick in a code and you can join us, and that works really, really well. So that's one option. Another one is using Slido, which again, I'm guessing people have probably heard of and possibly used. Slido's much better if you're trying to get questions through the kind of conference or the meeting that you're doing. I must admit, I tend not to recommend using Slido when you're doing video conferencing things, just because you've already got tools within the platform itself. So things like, obviously Zoom has its Q&A section. You've got the chat function for MS Teams and that kind of stuff, which also you can use in Zoom. So it may not be as effective, but if you've got significant numbers of people, really large events that you're having to do for, actually having a separate platform for people to do the questions through can actually be more useful, because all you've got is the questions and you don't have the other stuff that comes through from the event itself, which is actually makes the administrative side of it a lot easier.